Hello, Gemini. This is Adrienne Obey, Capricorntigress, Western Astrologer of astrology.com. And I'm coming to you with your astrological horoscope, your horoscope reading. And it is actually going to span between today, which is July 20th, 2019, all the way up to probably the end of August. I may come back in August and do another, but I know that I have some aspects that I want to talk about that span from July through August. Okay. So the first thing I would talk about, Gemini, is the new moon. And the new moon is going to be occurring in your house. Your house, which I mean, it's going to be in Leo, but it's going to be in the third house, which is the house of Gemini. So I really believe that this new moon in Leo, which is sextile Gemini, I believe it's going to be a renewal of your ability to communicate. Like just more emphasis on your communications. And I'm thinking this could be communications in everything, but I see a lot of communications locally, neighbors, community, just communicating at work, probably just local things. Maybe even communicating with family members like aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, brothers, sisters, that type of thing. New moon in the third house also could indicate a shiny new car. Don't know if that's coming into someone's reality soon. It can indicate just a whole new pick up of emotion, like a communication, like just a sudden burst of activity in communication. You might find that the phone rings a lot, or you get lots of phone calls, or lots of emails, or um, letters in the mail, or something like that. I see that happening. Um, the sun is going to be in the third house, and so is Venus, and so is Mercury for a short time, and so is Mars. And so that's a lot of emphasis in that third house. I think with that much emphasis, I do want you to be, just watch yourself and locally travel, getting from point A to point B locally, right? So that could be taking the bus, taking a train, carpooling, bicycling, walking, whatever it is. I just want you to be more cautious about it, and not so much caution, but it's just going to have more emphasis. So you might find that your emphasis, your mind, your conversations, third house, are on things like local travel more during this month, or getting a car, or washing your car, or taking care of your car, or any of those kind of things. We're speaking with your family members or cousins and nephews and uncles and all that kind of stuff. That can definitely be part of it. Also, I think when you're with Venus there, it could be that you're able to communicate with your, I would say, your romantic partner, the person that Venus, so this is communications. I think of love, communications and flirtations and all kind of things like that. I could see that for sure. So if you're in a situation where you might be flirting, I could see that this could happen. Just communicating in some way, in a very Leo way, in the house of communication. So Jupiter has been going retrograde, though, for most of the summer in your uh, seventh house of partnerships. It might have felt like your partnerships have gone a little backwards. Um, I hope some of you haven't even left your partnerships. A lot may have. Like your relationships might have dissolved or broken up, like altogether. Or you might just be ghosting each other, or just on the outs or something. because Jupiter has been retrograde in the seventh house. And it's just feel like no fun, no happiness, no joy, no sunshine in that house for some reason. I could just be, it is just temporary. And Jupiter is going to be going direct soon, I believe at the end of August. So if you just get through this, you're gonna be fine. Also, another planet that's going to be going direct is Saturn, but that's going to be the 3rd of September. So just hold in there with that. And Saturn and Pluto have been in your 8th house, which I believe has most likely been affecting your finances. But it more likely has been like your partner's money or the money that you would get from other people. So, like if you're a landlord, you might have had trouble getting the money back from the people that pay you. Or if you bill out, you might have had trouble getting the money back from the people that you billed, and you're expecting payment, but you haven't yet got it. And you're like, oh, do I have to go to collections? One of those situations. Um, there's delay. Saturn is there and it's retrograding. My goodness. So there could be some delay when it comes to getting this money from other people. But hold tight. Saturn will go direct on the 3rd. I think that's going to help a great deal, take some of that restriction off. You might not feel quite powerful yet in that area until after October. Excuse me, I keep saying September 3rd. It will be September 18th. September 18th when Saturn goes direct. And October 3rd is when Pluto goes direct. That's what it is. So, you guys, there is going to be a full moon on the 15th of August. It's the full sturgeon moon, and it's going to be in your 9th house. I'm just wondering why right away I thought travel. So some of you Geminis might be traveling. It might have to do with education or politics or government or something like that. But really, I don't know. Right away I thought travel, maybe even international travel. Maybe even something to do with international publishing. If you're someone that has involved in book writing or publishing or something of that nature, with that emphasis down in the 3rd house and then also the full moon in the 9th house, this next period, this 30-day period might be a time when a lot of emphasis is on your abilities to write what you write if you're a writer. Also, you just be aware that with the full moon in the 9th house, it could be someone that challenges your dogma. And what I mean by that, they challenge the way you think about life and the way you see things. And that might affect you and irritate you. And so please be aware of that this could possibly happen. Let's see. Neptune is retrograding in your 10th house. Wow, confusion in your career. Um, just hang in there until it goes direct. I have no good. That's the best advice, really. Hang in there, think as clearly and succinctly as you can while Neptune is retrograding in your 10th house. Think as clearly and succinctly as you can. And hopefully, the right answers, the right solutions will come to you in your career, and you'll know exactly what to do. Um, if you lose um, control over your thought processes and your imagination when Neptune is retrograding in your 10th house, well, anything could happen in your career. Anything. Because when Neptune's retrograding, it's eventually going to have to go back over when it's retrograded. So if it's something that you've created that's nebulous, it might not stand the test of that, direct. When it goes direct, it won't stand the test of the retrograde. So be careful of what you're building in your career and make sure that what you're building is not just fantasy, not just illusion, but it's solid and it has a foundation and it'll last long after Neptune leaves Pisces in your 10th house. The other thing that I wanted to mention is Chiron is in Aries, and that is retrograde as well in your 11th house. And that is maybe some painful experiences with friends, because I think you're healing that area with friends. If you have some pain in your past with friends, this might be the time to heal that so that you can ease away whatever hardships or pain or wound that you have. Don't carry that wound much longer. And if you had hopes and dreams and wishes, we all do when we're young, right? We all hope and dream and wish what we're going to be. We dream of what we're going to be when we grow up and what we want to do. And we have all these big dreams. And then life comes along and it knocks us out of it. It knocks it out of us. And we lose those dreams. We lose the direction that we wanted to go in. So this might be a time for you to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for, losing your way. Forgive yourself for losing friends that you cared about, or, maybe giving up on your hopes, dreams, and wishes. But this will be a time to heal that area. And when it does, hopefully you'll be able to get to the things that you most desire in this lifetime. Also, to finish things up, we've got Uranus retrograde in your 12th house. And the 12th house is a very erratic house. It's the house of self-undoing. It's the hidden secret things we do, and it's the things that really muck us up if we don't do them right or know what we're doing. In this case, Uranus is retrograding there. So it might be pulling back on some of the erratic activity that you might have experienced privately and even subconsciously in your deep internal subconscious. Only you know how stable or unstable you are on a subconscious level, because that's part of those hidden skeletons in that 12th house. But with Uranus retrograding, you might get a brief moment where you can think clearly and hopefully get things in order so you can prepare for when it goes direct again. Because Uranus is going to be in your 12th house for quite some time, at least the next 5 or 6 years. And when it does, you're going to have to clean out those closets. I'm sure that it's might just be adding a lot more to them. It's Uranus. I don't really think, that's the saddest part about Uranus. It's so erratic. It just does the craziest things. When you think of the word crazy, or I think of Uranus. And just imagine, you put those two together, it's like incendiary. We've got like erratic, eccentric behavior and the house of self undoing. You figure those two words, those two phrases. Yeah. Either way, it's Gemini, be cautious, okay? And I think the best way to be careful if you're acting erratically or not, if you're not aware of it, because it's a 12th house. So you could not even be aware that you're exhibiting erratic behavior. So the best way to know if you are or not is by judging the people's reactions to your behavior. So if you start seeing people are like, or whatever, you'll know that you're kind of off the rails and you need to pull it back a little bit and figure out where you are. And my best advice for you, Gemini, especially with Neptune sitting up in the 10th house, retrograding like that, and I know it's going to go direct, is to stay in the noun. Stay in the noun. Ground yourself, stay grounded, stay in the noun. Do not get lost in that 12th house with all that drinking and drugging and sexing and cheating and lying and all kind of stuff that it can do in the 12th house. Okay? All right. Well, this has been my message for you, Gemini, and I hope that it resonated with someone. It was the message I was led to give, and so I gave it. All right. Well, this has been Adrienne Obey, Capricorntigress, Western Intuitive Astrologer of Astrology, A Look Inside. And please like and share our YouTube videos. Subscribe to our YouTube channel here. And you can also find me at facebook.com/astrology look inside. That's our Facebook page. And I give free readings on Wednesdays and Saturdays in our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/astrology look inside. And I also do free 3 card pulls with 1 clarifier on Sundays, and that's the only day I do those. Okay, so oh, and one other thing, I become a Patreon. I am on Patreon at patreon.com/Capricorntigress, and all of that I think I will have below. So I do hope that we connect soon, and sending out much love and much light to you all. Bye now.